Remember how I said that endorsements for the skills that you have on LinkedIn, it's not really valued so much? Well, the thing that really helps profile visitors understand you and what other people might think of the work that you do is recommendations on LinkedIn. LinkedIn recommendations are a great way to share a little bit about your experience with a coworker, with a boss, and it's a great way for those people to share their experience working with you. If you have done any freelance work, this is a great way for a client to give you a recommendation. It's also a good opportunity for people who are in grad school to get recommendations for their professors that the general public can see. Now, this isn't something that people have really thought of. It's something that I came up with myself because I was looking for a way for my fiance to help share more about what his professors were saying about him for the non academic job market. Now, this is a way for non-academics to understand the value of the skills and the work that people have done in graduate school. And if you're a teacher, this is a great way for your coworkers or perhaps the chair of your department to express those values that you had in the classroom, to express their experience working with you, or maybe how friendly you were, or how much you found that the students were engaging. And so these things can really make a difference to a general audience, to know maybe if they want to work with you, if you're a good person to reach out to, if you're communicative, if you're maybe likely to respond. So this can actually paint a much better picture of who you are for someone who's really not familiar. And it might make you more approachable if you have some friendly recommendations up there, even if it's not from a formal work experience. So I want you to look at this section broadly because there's so many opportunities to share more on your LinkedIn profile through this section. So this is the LinkedIn recommendation section. Again, if you don't have this section, you can go to the top of your profile and add a section to your profile. So once you have this section up, you can ask for a recommendation. Asking for a recommendation means that you probably need to be connected to this person already on LinkedIn. So if there's someone that you'd like to ask for a recommendation, you can go ahead and type their name in. All right. Anna Clemens is someone who I know in real life, someone who I've worked with in the past. And so as you can see, LinkedIn asks you to select a relationship. In this case, Anna was a client of mine. And the position at the time was my current position at the Academic Designer LLC. Now, if you are in grad school or if you are in a teaching position, then you would select that in your work experience for your position at the time. Then you would hit next. This would be followed by a brief note to the person that you're asking for a recommendation. Now, they do give you this kind of template. Hi, Anna, could you write me a recommendation? But I actually recommend that you write something more personalized. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And I will show you how to approach this in the written text of this lesson. So when you're done composing your message, you can go ahead and click the send button. I'm just going to X out of this for now. So here's the nice thing about recommendations. You can have as many recommendations on LinkedIn as you want, and you can actually choose which ones to show on your profile and which ones to hide. Now, this isn't because you want to hide all of your recommendations, but it does give you the opportunity to highlight different things at different times. This is great if you're applying for jobs or if you're applying for grants and you want to highlight specific skills or specific work experience recommenders on your profile for that exact instance. So you can change your recommendations, which ones to show based on your goals. So as you can see, you can have a number of recommendations. I've received 3 because that's how many I've asked for, but I've seen people on here who've received like 99 or 100 recommendations. So there isn't really a limit to how many recommendations you have. There is a limit to how many you can show in your profile. So basically, you just want to select whichever is the most important. As you can see here, I can manage my recommendations by asking for a revision. This would be great if you have ongoing work relationship with someone and you'd like to update that. You can choose to show it or you can hide it from your profile. It also shows here the recommendations that you've given. This is a great way to connect with more people and to stay in touch with them. It's also a great way to ask for recommendations, say if you've worked together or you've been coworkers. So there's a good opportunity here to go beyond the traditional job recommendation and even to ask for more than you might in terms of a job interview recommender, because these are pretty short. It's not going to take someone a lot of time, not even as much time as writing a letter of rec for grad school, for a grant, or for a publication. This is a lot easier for people to do, and so you can actually request more than you might in a traditional job search. If you've never asked for a recommendation on LinkedIn before, that's okay. The steps that I'm going to outline in the text portion of this lesson should help you along the way. I do want to add, this isn't going to take people a lot of time, so please don't feel bad if you are, reaching out to someone you maybe haven't talked to in a while. If you're reaching out to someone you're not sure, they have the opportunity to say no. If they don't respond, don't feel like it's because they don't like you. Sometimes people just don't check their LinkedIn messages. I also want to add that if you don't hear back from someone, it is okay to follow up. Maybe send them a quick email and say, hey, I was hoping for a recommendation on LinkedIn for this. If you don't remember, this is how we work together. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. You're going to see all of this kind of nitty gritty how to write these messages in the text portion of this lesson. So do reach out if you have questions. My email is jennifer@theacademicdesigner.com.